Gorgeous. How are you ladies doing this morning? I hope you're all doing wonderful. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Dr. Michelle, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today I have 8 questions I'm going to answer. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to answer every question, but I have something for you at the end of the video that's going to address that piece. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Why did I start doing videos on femininity? And how did I learn to become feminine? I've kind of combined the 2 questions. So let's first start talking about why I decided to do videos on femininity. For those of you who don't know, when I first began my YouTube channel, my vision was very blurry. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to bring beauty content or if I wanted to bring content that was gonna really help people in an emotional, spiritual, and mental way. So my first video was a wig review, but my second video was a femininity video. Hey beautiful people, how you guys doing? It's important because as a woman, you are supposed to be clean. You are supposed to look clean and be clean. The most important thing is deodorant. Wear deodorant. Deodorant helps block out the odors from when you sweat, and a lot of women do get their nails done. I know I get my nails done, just regular French tip. I get a French tip because I feel it looks the cleanest, but you don't have to get your nails done as long as your nails stay clean. That video is no longer up because my attitude was terrible and it just wasn't gratifying me at the time, so I stuck to beauty content. However, I've always sprinkled in a little bit of like self-help and those self-improvement type videos on my channel. So if you haven't checked out some of my previous stuff, I would encourage you to take a look. Now, in terms of how I learned to become feminine, it's a great question. I would first start by saying that femininity is an energy. You can embody femininity in anything because it's an energy, just like masculinity is an energy. They are polar opposites, but they work together, and you have to learn how to channel your feminine energy so that you can use it and it'll exude through your actions in various situations. Your mentality and the way that you see the world and the way that you act through your thoughts. So I know it sounds deep, but we're gonna get deep because you are deep. You are a deep woman. And so we need to start getting you a little bit more in tune with some of your other sides. I will say though, I was responsible for my grooming at a very young age in terms of being allowed to choose what I was going to wear and what bows were going to go in my hair, what shoes I was going to add to it. From a very young age, I was encouraged to plan out my outfits. I was encouraged to present in a certain way to be able to have doors open for me. Just knowing my true power behind some of these subconscious things was taught to me at a very young age. However, my behavior was something I had to really develop on my own because I wasn't taught feminine behavior. So, and I'll talk about that a little bit more when I go into kind of like my story, because I guarantee you a lot of things that you probably have assumed about me are false. And that's okay. It's just something that we'll talk about later. Now, I also had inspirations in my life. I had other women that I looked up to. I was very big on pictures growing up. Like I would have them up on the ceiling and down below. The reason I had so many pictures was because I liked to look at things that I liked or things that I wanted or things that I wanted to be like. I just enjoyed being in an environment where I could always imagine and dream. So I cultivated that at a very young age, and I had 3 feminine icons. I'm gonna do a video specifically on that, but just because you asked. Growing up, my 3 feminine icons are Megan Good, the actor. I absolutely love the way that she carries herself. I like her voice, I like her smile, just the way that she exudes her femininity. I've always felt very aligned with. Another woman is Felicia Rashad, who is also an actor, and she played the mom on The Cosby Show. I absolutely love the way that she carried herself in terms of like her posture, the way she would sit, the way she would like move her shoulders. I liked her smile. I liked the fact that she was intelligent and beautiful and warm and funny. So I really loved her character, and I just love her as a person. Even before I ever watched The Cosby Show, because I didn't watch that show until I was in college. When I was younger, I would see her on interviews with her husband, and I was like, who is this woman? She's so classy. And so she's someone who I've always admired. I also felt very connected to Angelina Jolie. Her sexiness, her mysteriousness. I like the way that she carries herself. I love her kindness and the way that she shows love and gratitude. So these three ladies all in some way contributed to my essence and my femininity. Now, in terms of cultivating my femininity, this was something that I remember asking my mom about at a young age. I asked her, why am I like this? I didn't understand why I was so connected with people and love and nurture and beauty and all of these other things that people seem to not pay enough attention to. I think that honestly, certain things you're just born with. I think God designed each of us so uniquely and put certain qualities in us. Femininity is something you are born with. It is your God-given gift as a woman, and you can use it however you want to use it. My hope for you, though, on this channel is to be able to access your whole being, your mind, your spirit, your body. It's not going to just be about your outer appearance. There are lots of other wonderful channels that can help you with that as well, and I will too. But I want us to have a more holistic angle and focus on you as a whole person, because that is the only way that you can get what you want out of life, by really being able to master everything. I will always do videos on the looks and the outer appearance, because when you look good, you feel good, your looks matter. Your looks are what's going to get people to come your way. That's really important. That's why half of you ladies are even here, because I started off with some of the more superficial things, and you were able to build an understanding and build an affinity and stay connected to hear some of the more deep stuff. I truly believe that God designed you for a reason. He designed you specifically to be able to carry out certain things. And I want to help cultivate that within you so that you can have the courage and the strength and the power to get everything that you want out of life. I get asked all of the time, Michelle, how did you get this? Michelle, how did you do that? So as I was reflecting on it, I thought, there's something missing. When it comes to us humans, we're not accessing ourselves the way we should be. We're not accessing our emotions. We're not accessing true gratitude. We're not really living the way that we should. We're living very carefully, hoping to make it to our death safely. We're not pushing limits. We're not trying to reach our goals. And we're not showing enough love and kindness. We're operating from a completely different energy. So that is a very long answer to your question. That's the reason why I'm on here, because I want to bring you expert knowledge and expert advice to be able to help you to reach your goals through femininity and other things as well. My videos are not specifically going to be about femininity. I want you to know that. There's going to always be elements in it, but I'm going to be doing videos on femininity, on personal development, personal growth, learning how to get along with people, learning about your thought processes, your paradigms, your subconscious mind, and the spiritual aspect, making sure that you're connected with God, making sure that you're meditating and you're really connecting with your spirit, because you are your body, your mind, and your spirit. You are not just your body. We have to talk about everything. So that is what my channel is moving towards, and I'm so happy that you're here, and I'm also very happy that you asked that question. Am I still a minimalist? Oh my goodness. I get asked that question by my own family all the time. Like, they're just waiting for me to give up. Are you still a minimalist? Because it don't look like it. That's what they tell me. Okay, so no, I don't consider myself a minimalist anymore. If you don't know anything about minimalism, I would encourage you to look at my minimalism playlist, because I go through my whole minimalism journey. Now, I did take upon minimalism to be able to show more gratitude for the things that I owned. I got to a place where I didn't feel gratitude when I was getting things anymore. And I felt like I was out of control. I felt like I had so much clutter in my life and so much chaos in my life that I needed to just purge. And I got introduced to minimalism and I fell in love with it. One of my favorite YouTubers, her name is Ambrosia. I will link her playlist below because she is the one who introduced me to minimalism. I saw someone who looked like me, who was beautiful inside and out, and I saw how she was living and I thought, I want to feel that. Personally, how I live my life is I always have conversations and really dialogue with people who either have what I want, they already have it, okay? And people who have had what I want and lost it. And I would encourage you to do the same. Moving forward, I am no longer a minimalist, but that's because I was able to master the feeling that I was looking for. The feeling of knowing that I don't need certain things. The feelings of knowing that I only buy things I love. And the feeling of gratitude, of being grateful for things that I already have and not just buying new stuff and moving on to the next perfume, the next lotion, but really loving and using what I have and being grateful for it. And I also noticed that it was impacting my ability to create. I have to be in a beautiful environment. Like I have to have plants and candles and flowers and lots of it, right? It makes a big difference for me. Having the beauty around me, having unique items around me, having life like plants and flowers, even though they're not real, having them around me really helps with my creative expression, and it helps me to be able to even describe and explain things better to you ladies when I'm inspired creatively. What is the perception of Black men and women wearing their natural hair? Well, I could say that Black men have been brainwashed by society to dislike Black women's natural hair in its natural state, and they prefer you to have long, straight hair. I could say that, but that's just not true. At least it's not true across the board. Yes, there are some Black men who solely and specifically only want a woman who has long, straight hair. But that's not the majority. With everything, it comes back to your confidence, your own personal power, how you feel about yourself when you have your natural hair out and you're walking around hoping and expecting for a Black man to approach you, right? It's about how you feel about your hair and it's about how you feel about them. If you think that they're not going to approach you because they don't like your hair, that energy you're sending out is going to be received. But a lot of times when it comes to hair in general, the most important thing is that you look clean overall. Like your entire presence looks like it's curated and cared for. Not like, you just rolled out of bed or that your hairstyle was like an accident, you're pissed off about it. But that you truly love your hair no matter how it came out. All of it will show. On a personal level, I've never had a Black man dislike my hair. As a matter of fact, I've actually had more of the opposite experience where Black men have wanted to see my hair more. And they'll ask, why aren't you wearing your hair? It's something that they enjoy seeing. But again, that is my expectation of them. I expect them to want to see my hair. I expect them to like my hair. And all of that energy comes back to you. I promise you it does. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter whether or not they like your hair. What matters is whether or not you like your hair and you are willing to be with the person who wants you for you. There are so many men out there, but you only need one. So go where you're wanted. If you find a Black man who loves your natural hair, be happy and grateful for that and continue to be yourself and wear your hair out. Now, I will say, just, black and white, I will say that men do prefer long hair. It doesn't really matter what state it's in. If it looks long, they're more attracted to that. But again, there are some men who prefer short hair. There are some men who just prefer a confident woman. It doesn't matter what her hair looks like. time to meet a man's family and move in together? Personally, I believe that you can meet a man's family whenever you want to. It doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is how you feel. My hope is that you don't become emotionally invested in a man until he has committed to you. And if you don't know what that means, I have a video on that. I will link it below. You can meet his mom, you can meet his friends, you can meet his grandfather. It doesn't really matter if he's not going to be your husband, if that's what you're seeking, because in this specific question, she does want to get married. So it doesn't really matter. Nothing matters until he has fully committed to you. Now, in terms of moving in together, I do have more concrete thoughts on this, and there's a lot more data to show that this isn't the best idea. I wouldn't recommend moving in with a man before you get married or at least are engaged. The reason behind that is when you spend a lot of time with someone, when you live with someone, you are able to see everything. And during the time when you're being courted and chased and leading up to marriage, you want that time to be the height, the max of where the man is putting out all of his best and really trying to impress you and make you feel like a queen, a princess, a goddess, all of it, right? And that time gets cut short significantly when you move in with him. You lose a lot of that mystery that you may have had. In addition to that, you end up giving husband privileges to a boyfriend. And that's very dangerous for so many different reasons. I've seen so many women who have gotten caught up in that and ended up pregnant, and things did not go as planned, and they ended up breaking up, even though they were thinking they were on the road to an engagement and a little bit more serious of a commitment. I would recommend that you wait until you're at least engaged and then move in with him. Before then, I believe you are really doing yourself a disservice. Even though you might think it's helping to speed things up, it's actually probably going to slow things down. How to be feminine even when you're angry. Your emotions are your body's natural response to the environment, whatever's going on around you. That's your natural inclination for your body to kind of get into that state. But ultimately, your mind is in full control. So when you are angry, it's important for you to get your mind to chill, to calm down, okay? Stop worrying about what your body's doing and get your mind to chill. And the way you do that is by breathing. So when you're angry, the first thing I want you to do is focus back on yourself, okay? Don't focus on how angry you are at this person. Put the energy right back on yourself and get your mind right. Because ultimately, you can lose everything you've worked for in one moment of anger. So you have to get back to yourself. In that moment of anger, breathe. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and observe whatever you're actually seeing. Being upset is a choice. I know you don't want to hear that, but it's true, and it'll help you. Being upset is a decision you get to make. Your body's gonna react, okay? Don't mind that. Just bring yourself back. It's a choice. So you're going to observe, but you're not gonna absorb. You can watch something play out, you can read a text, you can read a post, but you don't have to absorb it. You don't have to bring it into yourself. Now, with that being said, in terms of femininity, always use a calm and soft tone, okay? That's always really important because it also helps the other person to calm down, okay? It may seem like they're overpowering you, especially if they're angry, but sometimes they're not angry, you're the one that's angry, right? So use a soft tone to help you remember that you're calm. And say something along the lines of, I understand, and excuse yourself. If you're not in a place in the moment where you can say something that you feel is going to be helpful or isn't going to hurt you, excuse yourself. Or if you're not around someone, take a break and focus on something different. But I do want you to have moments where you return to that thought, return to that moment, either through journaling or meditation, where you figure out what about that moment, what about that situation got you to that point. and start unraveling, start unpacking, because it's in you. The answer is inside. You don't have to get angry. You can even cry. Crying is a very feminine way of expressing emotion, and it really does help if you're in a situation where you are angry and you really don't know what to say, as long as you're not at work. I do not encourage crying at work. But if you're in a situation where that feels comfortable to you, then go ahead and cry. Okay, that's okay. Crying is a good thing. We'll talk about crying a little bit more later. How do I deal with emotional baggage from childhood? This is a wonderful and deep question, and I'm so happy that you asked it. First, if you have anything that you feel happened to you during childhood, it's very important for you to observe that and understand it. Understand what happened to you. Okay, if it needs to be explained to you by someone, then seek explanation, seek understanding, so you know exactly what it actually was. But it is crucial that you decide how you internalize it. You decide how you see it. Don't allow society or other people to tell you that because this happened to you, it means you're gonna be like this, you're gonna act like this, you're not gonna be able to get this, you're not gonna be able to go there. That's not true. There is an overwhelming amount of research to show that two different people, even if they're from the same family, brother and sister, sister and sister, brother and brother, twins, two people can experience the same exact event, the same trauma, have two completely different feelings about it. One can be completely crippled by it, and the other can be completely encouraged by it. It all depends on how you decide you're going to see it, and that is your choice. No one gets to choose that for you. I believe it's important for everyone to take a look at their childhood and be able to analyze it and see how it shaped your vision, how it shaped your paradigms, the things that you do and don't do, what you're afraid of, what you think you can accomplish, because all of these things did develop in your childhood, and they're all trapped in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is really what dictates your behavior. I'll give you a personal example. Growing up, in terms of punishments, right? One of my punishments that I would get was having to wake up early. If I got into trouble for something, my mom would say, you know what? Tomorrow, you're gonna have to wake up early. And so I kind of developed subconsciously this thought that waking up early is a punishment. So for me, I have struggled for years upon years to wake up early. Okay, and this is something that has been a personal goal for me because I want to be able to do all these great things early in the morning. It's been the biggest challenge. I mean, I've had one period of my life where I was able to do it for about a year, and then it just never stuck. And when I thought back into my thoughts and really got deep, I was able to figure out that this was something my whole childhood that was used as a punishment, having to wake up early. So if I see it truly in my subconscious as a punishment, my body is not going to want to wake up. On top of it already being difficult to wake up, the will, my mind, won't be able to push through those subconscious thoughts that waking up early is a punishment, right? So these are really embedded and weaved through our minds, and you won't be able to figure out why you're having such a hard time with dating, why you're having such a hard time with love, why you have such a hard time getting along with people. All of these things are really weaved into other experiences. However, I will say, even if you can't remember, even if you don't have any recollection, or say you were adopted or your foster child and you haven't been told what's happened to you, it's okay. It doesn't mean you can't still change. But in order to be able to change who you are and to really be able to live higher as your higher self, you have to have awareness. You have to know where you fall short in life, and you have to continuously work towards it. So if anger is something that comes to you often, I would want you to focus on that. Now, if you have a mental health disorder, if you do struggle with other things that are related to the way that your brain functions, and it's difficult for you to be able to really analyze your thoughts, then you might need support from a therapist. That is the purpose of having a therapist. It's supporting you in being able to access your thoughts, because we have blockages where we just don't allow our brains to move any further. Like, not thinking about that, nope. So you have someone to help guide you through those thoughts. And that's what a therapist does, okay? How to deal with unhappiness. Unhappiness, like everything else, is an emotion. It's a feeling and it's an energy. Okay, so it's an energy that is overtaking you because of the vibration you're in. But I will say this, your life is just a product of individual decisions. Tiny, tiny decisions that you make throughout your entire day, every day. Every choice by choice by choice by choice is an accumulation. And that energy stays with you. So if you're unhappy, then I want you to start evaluating your choices a little bit more closely. And something that's directly connected with unhappiness is the idea of gratitude. You have to adopt an attitude for gratitude. Okay, that makes it easier to remember. An attitude for gratitude. You have to adopt an attitude for gratitude in order to create abundance, in order to actually feel fulfilled and happy. And what that means, it's not just like, oh, I'm so happy I have my life, I'm so happy I have money, I'm so happy I have friends. It's not that. That's just the surface layer, okay? Just acknowledging, that's a step, but it's a lot deeper than that. When you're living in the spirit of gratitude, you are taking in the emotion. It's not just the words. You are connecting your words with your spirit, your words with your heart. I am grateful that you are here and watching this video. And I feel it. I feel the energy of being so thankful that you're here. So an example of gratitude in this very moment is you being grateful that you had an opportunity to wake up this morning. You being grateful that you're able to watch this video because we're not in the same place, and you're able to access information that's going to help you. You're grateful that you have the device that you have to watch this video on, or you had an opportunity, a few moments in your day that you could have to yourself to watch this video. All of those things are encompassed in this small concept of you watching a YouTube video. If you practice this, you will see your life open up in every single way. I promise. So this is something I need you to start being more mindful of, your gratitude. And you can create a gratitude list. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, I thank God for waking me up in the morning. I ask for forgiveness of all of my sins, even the ones I don't know that I did. And then I write 7 things that I am grateful for. You can make the list a lot shorter. It can be 3 because you have to really channel this energy. So if you're just starting, I would say 2 to 3 things that you are grateful for and meditate on that. Actually think about having those things and how it makes you feel. I'm so happy that I have a relationship. But even deeper than that, you can say, I'm so happy and grateful that I get to experience love. I'm so happy and grateful that I have someone who thinks about me. These things all manifest and give you much more in life, and they increase your vibration, they make you happier. So focus on having an attitude for gratitude, and that will cure almost all of your unhappiness and create abundance in your life. How to deal with your friends and your family when you're leveling up. When you're doing anything in life, anything positive for yourself or for the world, you're gonna have resistance. So when you're excited that you have this new idea for your life and you're ready to go get it, and you're leveling up, you're changing your attitude, you're being kind to people, you're putting out gratitude in this world, you're changing your hairstyles, your clothes, you're changing the way that you walk, how you talk, how you look at people, you're changing everything, right? When you decide to make a change and elevate, it is going to make people uncomfortable because it's going to force them to have to change. And people don't like change. So If you decide from now on you're not gossiping anymore about people because it's negative energy and you don't want those negative vibrations inside of you, so you're done. But you and your best friend thrived off of that, right? That's how you guys became best friends. You both love talking mess. That's going to cause a shift in your friendship because they're going to, one, recognize that they can't do that with you anymore, and now they feel like they've lost something in their life. And two, it's going to force them to look in the mirror. And even that is deep thinking. Most people won't do that. They'll just refuse to look in the mirror because they don't want to acknowledge the fact that they're in the wrong and that they should maybe take a look at their actions and move away from them. But sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes your change is just so outrageous that people can't wrap their minds around it. They're not on your same frequency, and you can't let that bother you or else you won't grow. It's not until after the fact that they come back and go, oh, look at my daughter, this model, this lawyer. It's not until after the fact that most people are able to acknowledge things. Don't worry about that. It's not your problem. It may bother them that they may not be able to call you ugly anymore because now you look good. So it's normal, but what you want to do is observe, but don't absorb. You can hear them say whatever they want to say, their opinions about your new lifestyle, that's fine, but it's none of their business. Your life is yours all by itself. You came here by yourself. You will leave by yourself. You need to live your life in the driver's seat, not in the passengers. I'll be frank with you. If I would have listened to my family and friends, I wouldn't be here right now helping you. They didn't encourage that, okay? And some don't encourage me sharing valuable information for free. I have noise coming from lots of different directions. It's my decision, and it's your decision too. So be grateful for the fact that you get to choose. Every choice is going to add up to the sum of your life. You want to make sure that you're being careful about every single choice and thought that you have. All right, my loves, those were the questions that I was able to answer, and I'm so grateful that you asked them. They're wonderful questions, each and every one of them. Now, I know that there were other questions that I was not able to get to, and I will have an opportunity for you to ask more questions. Send me an email, deardrmichelle@gmail.com, and in the subject line, I would like you to write butterfly mail. That way I know exactly what it is, and what I'll do is once a month, I'll come on and I'll answer 3 questions from you ladies and hopefully give you a better understanding of whatever it is that you need help with. So that's something that hopefully will help you and give you a little bit more access to me outside of the content that I'm creating for you. I want you to know, especially if you're new to my channel, that this is a safe space. I'm never going to embarrass you. I'm never going to share anything you don't want me to share. You will not find judgment here. This is a space for us women to be able to connect and grow and love. So I hope that you feel encouraged in knowing that. And now for the giveaway. I'll be doing a giveaway where I'll pick 3 winners and I will be giving them a curated little set of items that I think will help them along their feminine journey, mind, body, and spirit. So if you're interested, then go ahead and take a look at the guidelines and send me an email with this information in it. I would like to know 3 goals that you have for yourself. And when I say goals, I mean something that you've never accomplished before. Not something where you know how to do it, you know how to get there. Something where you are truly exploring. So I would like a goal for your mind, a mental goal, something that you would like to master mentally, a spiritual goal, and a life goal. So something that you want to accomplish in this life where you really don't know how you're going to do it. So go ahead and send me an email with those 3 things included and make sure that you meet all of the other qualifications and put that positive energy out there. Hopefully you get chosen. I'll have it open for 1 week so that everyone has an opportunity to see the video. Thank you all so much for being here and being present and taking in all of this information. Thank you for being open to it. I appreciate all of your kind words and your kind and affirming comments. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Big kisses to you all. Mwah. Peace, love, and light. bye.